You don't have to be the best at what you do. You just have to be getting better. Hey there, welcome to my epic journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. Here we are on the journey from 600 to 0 to 600 plus and everything that falls in between. Yesterday's episode was kind of funny because I talked about don't let the start stop you, and I referenced a story about the how the microphone didn't work on one of the episodes, and a couple of them. One that I forgot to plug it in, I plugged the wrong one in, and then one where the audio went out. So, ironically enough, on that video, the mic wasn't picked up, and it used my phone audio, my phone mic, to get that. So I went through it afterwards. I'm like, I'm not redoing this. It's already done. Let's go. We got to go. We got to get on the next one. So that was kind of ironic. And then this one, I just recorded a 12-minute episode and went to go listen to it back. And again, the mic was turned off. So one of those weeks, not a huge deal, just getting back to it, because as I'm going to talk about today is that, we just got to be, getting better. We're just getting better, right? We're never, not necessarily the best, but we're always getting better. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in that, after I kind of tell the story. But yesterday I was on a training with some other real estate agents, and the coach, John Story, he made a comment that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But it also brought me back into a place of a mindset that had been changed many years ago, but I kind of forgot, right? I think we talked about this before, where we can have these thoughts and ideas and things like that, and beliefs, but sometimes we forget, like, we're not exercising those beliefs a bunch because they're not coming up, and they kind of slowly fade away, and then you read something and go, oh, it like triggers back. That's what I do. I do believe that. Let me get into that. So one of the things that he said was that, you don't have to be the best at what you do. You just have to be getting better. And that, like I said, kind of caught me off guard because we are trying to be our best and do not even our best, be the best, right? Like, we're trying to be the best. And that in an industry like ours, that can really set people up for failure, right? Like, I want to be the best at this. Well, there's going to be one best, right? That's just it. But it reminded me of a conversation I had. I had a podcast interview back in like 2017, and it was a professional poker player, Rob Stan. And when I was talking to Rob, I couldn't get past the, like, my limited mindset told me that only poker players on TV were professionals, right? So I talked to him, and he's telling me about going through the whole conversation, talking about being a professional poker player, and I'm asking him like, what else do you do? Like what other job do you have that supports you being a gambler? And then you get into it, and then he starts talking about how it's not necessarily gambling. Yeah, you can lose money in a day, but when you're instead of a normal job where you go and you're going to if you're just an employee, you're going to go make money every day, right? Regardless if you had a good or bad day and you're just paid by the hour, you're going to get paid the same amount. It doesn't really matter. So in this case, you could lose money. And so I was like, what other job do you have? And he's like, no, I don't. I play poker. I was like, yeah, but I mean, I don't ever like see you on TV or anything like that. He's like, those guys are like the LeBron James of poker. And that really hit me because I didn't even for a second think about this guy's a professional. Like, the guy over here is making $120,000 a year at poker. They put in shifts, right? It's not they go out and have a typical gambling experience down here in Vegas on the Strip would be go grab some beers and some drinks, and then you're sitting there at the blackjack table, and you brought the money you are ready to lose is what is like the strategy for most people. But here he has like an actual job strategy for this. So it created this mindset for me where when I talk to my son. And he loves football. He wants to play football. He wants to play for Bishop Gorman someday when he's in high school. And one of the things is that, like, when I was growing up, I had, again, limited mindset of that, like, it was like NFL or nothing. Like, if you didn't, like, I didn't even think about, like, Canadian Football League. Like, now there's Arena League or, like, indoor football league, they call it. There's, I can't remember, like, United Football or what, UFL. All these other types of football that is not the top of the top that you can still live your dream and make a living at. Like, you might not be making millions of dollars, but you might be making more than a local sales job or a job that you hate. You might make a little bit less, but you can still live off this. And that kind of expanded the mindset. Like I'm not don't want to limit my son's mindset to be like, hey, no, you can't play in the NFL. I'm not saying that, but what I'm doing is expanding his mindset that, you know, if you want to go play, you can go play. And so that, like, Rob kind of put that in my mind, and it also translates a little bit as I was thinking about that yesterday and today, of, you know, the quote, like, you don't have to be the best at what you do, you just have to be getting better. I thought of that, and I was like, you know what, my YouTube channel, for instance, like this YouTube channel right here, you know, Mr. Beast, if you ever heard of Mr. Beast, my son introduced him to me a couple years ago. We'd get the Mr. Beast burgers, you know, around town and things like that. But Mr. Beast on YouTube just crushes it. Like 270 million subscribers. I have 161, not 161 million, 161. But that doesn't, just because Mr. Beast is the best at what he doesn't mean there's no room for other people to have success by not being the best. So by labeling the best, you know, I'm going to be the best at what I do. I'm going to be the best at YouTube. Like, I can't touch Mr. Beast, right? Like, not even close. But doesn't mean I can't have success. And I still have, you know, it's almost weekly that I hear somebody say they've either watched my videos on YouTube, they have, they recognize me, somebody has told them that they had seen me, or they've been watching my videos, or even better, like somebody says that they joined. You know, sometimes they join me, sometimes they join somebody else, but still I know that it's working, right? Because people are watching it, and so there's a level of success that I'm having. Is it the maximum success that I'm planning to have? No, not even close. But it is a level of success. So I am having success doing this by not being the best, but I am getting better while I do it, right? So it's not necessarily being the best. The other thing about being the best that I think kind of is forgotten, because nobody wants to admit that they don't want to be the best, right? Like, what are you saying, that you don't have the drive, right? For everybody that's like in self-improvement, like, if you don't say you want to be the best, well, then what do you want to be? Are you happy with your life? It sucks. It's not as good as it could be. You know, you want to be the best. Like, that's kind of like kind of bro talk for like some of these coaches and self development, right? Is like, why would you settle for anything less than being the best? But the reality is, and I'll talk about this later on a little bit more in another episode, because I want to get into that a little bit more. But if you've seen the meme going around with Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps, you know, Olympic swimmer, gold medalist, like 28 gold medals or something crazy like that, and he's swimming, and he's looking forward, laser focused forward, and there's a guy in the lane next to him that's probably about a half body length behind him, and he's like looking at him like in his swing. I think during his swim. I think it's they're doing the butterfly or whatever this one is. But he's like this, and he's coming out of the water, and he's looking over to see where Michael Phelps is at. And the caption says, "Winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners." And so that really like gave me some thoughts in my mind as well. Is that, you know, if you're just getting better and you're just focused on yourself getting better, then you don't know who the best is going to be, because you're not focused on anybody else. You're just focusing on yourself getting better. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about like the comparisons and well, who's the best? Well, who, you know, there's one best. There's one best. If you're it, congratulations. But if you're not, just focus on getting better. And that is something that I've kind of, over the last month, I kind of subconsciously, I didn't necessarily mean to do it on purpose, but I slowly got worn out by agents representing brokerages, like almost like they're a gang or something. Like this, you know, I rep this brokerage, right? And it's this nonstop of like people looking at what other brokerages are doing, and then instead of saying like what you have and how you can help them, you're looking at and tearing down the other where they're at, or the other brokerage. Like, instead of focusing on yourself and moving forward, I'm seeing a ton of stuff where people are just bashing one brokerage over the other, and it's quite comical, actually. Again, you've heard me say this many times before. There's no right brokerage for everyone. It really depends on what you need, and that's how I chose Epique, is because it was what I needed right now, right? So as I continue to just focus on forward and myself getting better, again, like I'm not I'm not the best at YouTube, not even the best at YouTube in real estate. Not even close. I mean, people are crushing it out there. It's amazing. Like I watch them, I'm like, how do you do it? You're awesome. Like I have 161 subscribers that are all completely organic. I haven't ran any type of ad or anything like that to generate any new subscribers or anything like that. It's really been the focus has been mainly on, I'm not even really watching other videos right now. Yeah, I will at some point, but I'll typically do that like during like the research phase and like trying to get get better ideas from other people. But right now I'm so focused on just making sure that I get whatever video I'm going to do this today. I just want it to keep getting better and better. I don't even know who else is in the space of what I'm trying to do. Not saying that I'm like too cool to know that. I'm just not interested right now in like trying to look at other people's stuff and see, oh, I need to switch that. I need to do this. I need to do that. It's not where I'm at right now. I need the reps, just like in baseball, right? I can tell you for 1,000 hours how to hit a baseball, but not until you get in there and actually get the rep and see. I can tell you what a curveball looks like as it's coming to you, but not until you actually see the laces spinning. Like you won't know, and you won't know how to adjust like until you get that feel for it. So again, Rick, right now I'm in rep mode, and my reps are trying to get me better at what I'm doing now and keep going forward. So if you want my unsolicited advice, I would tell you the same thing. Like, don't focus on being the best, because that means you have to pay attention to your competition. That means you're gauging yourself against someone else. Just focus on getting better. It's simple, but it's not, right? Because I know it's much easier to be like, oh, you watch somebody else, especially if you're an agent, you've been in the business for like 10 years, and then you see someone who gets in the business like a couple weeks ago, and they already have a deal under contract, and you're like, wait, what? Or like, they in 6 months they've closed 5 deals, and you're like, what are they doing? It's very difficult to find the motivation for yourself at that point. So yeah, I would just focus on getting better, and hopefully I continue to get better, and that's the plan. So I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one.